Guys, somebody asked me an interesting question about the stock market. And the question is whether or not we're going to have another dip, or the questioner called it a crash, before the election, similar to the one that we had back in March. And I thought that was quite an interesting question. So I'm going to attempt to answer it with tarot cards. And I don't know if it will work or not, but I'm going to see. And so what happened back in March was there was a 35% dip in the market, in the overall market, which from my understanding and what I've read was the fastest, steepest drop in the market in history. We've also had the fastest recovery from that dip in history. So now what I want to look at with the cards is that, are we going to revisit those same lows? The question is, are we going to revisit the same lows that we saw in March before the election in November? Trump keeps threatening that the market will crash if Biden is elected. But the question is, will we have another dip that revisits the March lows in the market before the election? Because that would make Trump look very bad. So let's see, are we going to have another dip that revisits the March lows before November? Are we going to have another dip in the market that revisits the March lows before November? Let's see if the cards can answer that for me. And I'm using my Kaleidodope Tarot for this reading. So let's see. Let's see what we get, guys. See if I can answer that question. So in the center, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is very blunt, brings clarity, very intelligent, can be somewhat cold and exacting. Let's see. Crossed by the Four of Swords. That is a rest. That is a lack of action. That is a retreat from a fight. So the Queen of Swords does correct things. She does point out errors. She does, she is a critic. She does criticize. She does point out mistakes and errors. So this is talking about a correction. In her card, I see a correction, but then it's crossed by this calm, peaceful rest period here. So I'm almost sort of getting right off the bat that there won't be before the election. Let's see, underneath it all, King of Coins. Yeah, there's a leader, a business leader. It could be the Fed. At the base of it all, kind of keeping things in line. Somebody with some authority, some leadership position that has to do with money is at the base of this question. So let's see. In the past, Page of Cups. Some kind of good news. Yeah, well, the good news in the past was that the market recovered from that dip that we had back in March. Above it all, King of Wands. There's another king. There's another king. We have two kings here surrounding this question. So there's somebody that is somebody with a lot of leadership and control of the situation. Let's see, near future. Six of Coins, charity. Also another money card. A card about giving and receiving money. Giving help. This is almost a card of giving help to the market, is what I'm seeing there. In the U position, Three of Cups, celebration. Happy times, good times. This is pointing to a market that's doing well and that people are happy about. To me, surrounded by anxiety, although there's a lot of anxiety and worry. That's what Trump is trying to stir up. And then just in general, I would imagine that there are people that are worried about the stock market. But the stock market is having a good time. But the people, possibly some investors, people who have their eye on the market are concerned. Hopes and fears, King of Cups, three kings. The King of Cups is often Biden for me. There could be some people that fear a Biden presidency. I will tell you that personally, I do not. Outcome, the world, accomplishment, completion, achievement. And it is also a world card, so it may be that this is an achievement, an accomplishment of a goal, something you're trying to reach. It's a higher perspective. It is a broader perspective. This reading is telling me that no, there will not be a dip in the market before the election. And that there is something big that's being accomplished by all these kings here, guys. Keeping the market in this accomplished, completed state. It's like we've reached a point, I believe, where we will not be going back to the March lows, because that was the question. We've gone beyond that level due to leadership, even possibly Biden's leadership, that these leaders are helping to create this good outcome with help, with this monetary policy. So what I'm getting from these cards on the question is, will we retest the March lows before the election? Is no, we will not. Things will be steady and improving. Thanks, guys.